Jellaway Beach in Edinburgh, Scotland, boasts the intriguing Ben and Head Cave, a damp and narrow locale that surprisingly lures countless tourists worldwide every year. The cave's fame is largely attributed to a chilling Scottish ghost story, which revolves around the Sawney Bean family, infamous as legendary Scottish murderers. In 16th century East Lothian, Scotland, Alexander Bean was born into a low-status family, known for their work in ditch digging and fence mending, nicknamed Sawney Bean, reflecting his Scottish birth. He developed psychopathic tendencies with blood and violence from a young age. The simple and constructive nature of his family's work could not satisfy Sawney Bean's growing dark desires. As an adult, Sawney abandoned his family and left home. A life of wandering. Roaming through villages, he unleashed his violent tendencies, eventually encountering Agnes Douglas. Because she, like Sawney, had a cruel personality, she was ostracized from the village due to similar violent inclinations. The pair, feeling alienated by the world, found solace in each other, quickly marrying to start their life together. Their choice for a honeymoon home was far from ordinary, as they settled in the Head Cave, near the port town. The cave, extending over a mile deep, consisted of a labyrinth of small, cobweb-like rooms. Its location by the seaside cliffs meant that at high tide, the cave entrance would submerge underwater, making it a secluded haven. Head Cave, an environment too cramped and damp for ordinary people, became an ideal hideout for the Sawney Beans. There, they embarked on a new family venture: robbery, a means to satiate their violent urges. The Sawney Beans targeted travelers between the coastal towns of Valantor and Goburn. Initially, their robberies involved stacking victims' bodies inside the cave, seizing their belongings and money. However, disposing of the stolen goods in such a remote location would quickly raise suspicions in the nearby towns. As a result, the couple couldn't secure even basic sustenance, let alone wealth. Thus, the stolen items accumulated in a corner of the cave, leading the Sawney Beans to a dire decision. To survive, they chose to consume the most readily available source of meat: their victims. This horrendous act of cannibalism continued, with the couple preserving the victims' limbs in salt within the cave. In their secluded Head Cave, the Sawney Bean couple continued their gruesome lifestyle, giving birth to 14 children. These kids seamlessly took up the family's macabre practices. As they grew, they aided their parents in their criminal endeavors. The cave became not just a home, but a breeding ground for the next generation of the Sawney Bean lineage. The children, pairing amongst themselves, expanded the family further, resulting in 16 grandchildren, evenly split between males and females. Eventually, the Sawney Bean family grew into a large extended family of 48 members over 3 generations. And correspondingly, the number of victims also continued to increase. Over 2 decades, the Sawney Bean family refined their human hunting techniques. They left no survivors, and they meticulously erased all traces of their hunts, evolving from a mere family of killers to a unit with almost military precision. The efficiency of their hunts meant an excess of food, leading to a surplus they couldn't consume. This overabundance led to the growth of fungus and rotting meat, which began to emerge outside the cave. Consequently, in the nearby coastal towns of Valentur and Gibbon, residents started discovering bodies brought in by the tide, with limbs and other body parts gruesomely detached. The locals attributed these horrors to wild animal attacks, a belief perpetuated by over 2 decades of similar disappearances. The Sawney Bean family's long streak of terror faced a turning point one night when they ambushed a couple returning from the market. The husband, armed for self-defense in these perilous times, put up a fierce fight. Despite his efforts, his wife met a tragic end. The Sawney Beans hesitated momentarily under his resistance, but remained focused on their target, waiting for the husband's ammunition to deplete. Their emotionless, beast-like gaze underscored their detachment from humanity. Their plan was disrupted by the unexpected arrival of a merchant caravan, returning from the Yan village market, complete with armed escorts. This group, numbering over 20, stumbled upon the ghastly scene in the forest, and was stunned by the sight of the primitive, bloodied Sawney Bean attacking a single man. As the merchants approached, the Sawney Beans retreated into the shadows, abandoning the husband and leaving behind the horrific scene of his wife's death. This first hunting failure they caused was inadvertently exposed the Sawney Bean family's heinous acts to all of Scotland, bringing an end to their 25-year reign of terror. Local lord was outraged upon hearing the harrowing tale of the Sawney Bean family's savage attacks. Determined to bring an end to their reign of terror, local lord appealed to James VI, the reigning king of Scotland, urging immediate action against the murderous clan. In response, an extraordinary and unprecedented force was assembled, consisting of 400 soldiers accompanied by dozens of bloodhounds. This formidable posse embarked on a relentless manhunt, scouring the area day and night. Despite their efforts, the Sawney Beans remained elusive. Their hideout, the Benin Cave, was strategically located on a cliff by the sea, its entrance often submerged under the high tide, rendering it virtually invisible. However, after a persistent search, the hounds eventually picked up the scent of blood coming from the cliffs. The soldiers, following the dogs, were led to the entrance of the cave. What they discovered within was a sight beyond belief. Decades of human predation had left a pungent stench of blood. The cave walls, adorned with the victims' bodies, drained of blood, and a heap of stolen valuables reminiscent of a treasure trove. The Benin Cave, a death chamber for the past 25 years, resembled a diabolical scene from hell itself. The lengthy caves were filled with salted bodies of the victims, and children, desensitized to the horror, were seen nonchalantly feasting on human flesh. According to some accounts, the soldiers, unable to bear the appalling sight, detonated explosives at the cave's entrance, entombing the Sawney Bean family alive, which subsequently made the cave more narrow and challenging to enter. Another prevalent account narrates that the entire Sawney Bean family was apprehended and taken to Tolbooth prison in Edinburgh, shackled in chains. Their crimes, deemed too heinous for conventional moral judgment, led the judge to bypass a formal trial, sentencing the entire family to death. Sawney Bean and his male descendants faced a fate mirroring that of their victims, being dismembered and left to bleed out. Agnes, his wife, and the female members were forced to witness the gruesome execution before meeting their own fiery demise. Among them were young grandchildren, barely old enough to walk, yet condemned for inheriting their family's sinister legacy. In their final moments, there was no sign of remorse or fear, even as they were engulfed by flames. This stoic acceptance of their fate was perhaps a testament to their life steeped in brutality.